Hello all. In the previous video, we discussed the objectives of 5-year plans. Now we'll discuss the achievements and the failures of the planning process from 1950 to 1990. So achievements. So increase in national income, right? So when you compare our national income from 1950 and 1990, so there is increase in the national income. So which is this national income is indicated by GDP, GNP. Okay, there are several indicators which indicates the national income. So there is a drastic increase in the national income from 1950 to 1990. So this is an achievement, right? Then increase in per capita income. So per capita income means income per person. So when you divide national income by population, you will get per capita income. So there is increase in per capita income when we compare from 1950 to 1990. Then rise in rate of capital formation. So I would like to explain about the meaning of capital formation. Here capital formation means establishment of economic infrastructure and social infrastructure. So economic infrastructure means roads, railway networks, telecommunication networks, airways, waterways, etc. So this is called as economic infrastructure, and of course industries also come under economic system, economic infrastructure, because they produce goods and services, which in turn increases our national income. Then social infrastructure means health, education, etc. Health and education will provide aid to the economic infrastructure to generate goods and services. So these two come under capital. So this is the meaning of capital formation. So the capital formation in 1950 and the capital formation in 1990, if you look at that, the capital formation by 1990 is far more better than 1950, right? So next one is creation of economic infrastructure. I told you, right? This economic infrastructure and social infrastructure come under the capital formation. Okay. Then employment to some extent. Of course, employment opportunities are also increased by 1990 because the production activities have been diversified due to diversification of industries, and the workforce is able to move into different sectors of the economy. Okay. See, there is a simple fundamental, that is as the population increases, there should be increase in diversity of economic activities. Why? Because there would be more demand for employment when there is increase in population or increase in workforce. Okay. Therefore, the economic activities should be diversified as much as possible in order to cater the employment for the population, right? So, however, the average growth of GDP was around 3%. The average growth rate of GDP is around 3%. That means year-on-year growth rate. So during the first 30 years after independence, so first 30 years after independence, the average growth rate of GDP is just 3%. Okay. So prior to the lockdown, prior to the corona, the growth rate of India's GDP was 7% to 8%. Right. But between 1950 to 1990, the average growth rate is 3%. Okay. Now we'll see the failures of the planning process. Number one, public sector industries incurred huge losses. That was the biggest failure. Yes or no? Why public sector industries incurred huge losses? Okay, we all know this fact. See, the main reason was there is lack of competition. Why there is lack of competition? Because there were huge restrictions on the imports of goods and services from the other countries. So because of that import restrictions, the public sectors enjoyed the monopoly in the Indian market, and there was no competition. When there was no competition, obviously there would be no quality in the goods and services as well as the production processes, okay, and red tapeism. So all these factors made public sectors inefficient and pushed them into losses, right? So this is the main failure. So because of the failure of public sector, India had faced balance of payment crisis in 1990s, okay. So due to lack of competition, there was no new technology in India, okay, and also there was no diversification of the production activities, and the government failed to provide employment opportunities for the emerging population or for the increasing workforce. Am I making sense? Right? So all these factors pushed India into crisis in 1990. Okay. Then foreign exchange reserves depleted to the lowest ever levels, and unemployment compounded the problem and it became big crisis. Compounded means this unemployment problem added to the then existing problems and pushed the India into big crisis. Okay. And too much centralization resulted in economic inefficiency. What is the meaning of too much centralization? Here too much centralization means permit license Raj. So permit license Raj means to establish an industry, a particular individual needs almost 30 to 40 clearances from the government. And it used to take almost 5 to 6 years to establish an industry. So this type of conditions pushed the Indian economy into crisis. Okay. If you look at the fifth point, corruption and red tapeism. So these are the result of too much centralization. Okay. So because of these failures, Indian economy was pushed into crisis in 1990s. So in order to overcome, we had completely transformed our economic system. Okay. So instead of tilting more towards a socialistic pattern of economic system, we have started moving towards a capitalistic pattern of economic system to increase the competition as well as to increase the employment opportunities. Right? So my dear students, these are the achievements and failures of planning process from 1950 to 1990. So in the next video, we will try to focus on the changes in various sectors of the economy. The changes in agriculture sector as well as the changes in industrial and service sector from 1950 to 1990. Okay? Thank you very much.